The King of the South has officially reached his breaking point, and this time, there is no turning back. Imagine the betrayal, your own flesh and blood, your legacy, sold off like trash on a street corner. But what T.I. just did in response has sent a shiver down the spine of every street gang in Atlanta. A 24-hour ultimatum has been issued, a chilling final warning that has effectively declared war on the underworld. We aren't just talking about a missing chain. We are talking about a multi-million-dollar inheritance traded for street clout by King Harris. But as the clock ticks down, the terrifying reality is setting in. T.I. isn't calling the cops. He's calling on the version of himself the world hasn't seen in 20 years. The rubber band man is back, and he is out for blood. You won't believe who just entered the chat. To understand the absolute carnage unfolding right now, we have to look back at the crumbling empire of the Harris family. For years, T.I., the self-proclaimed King of the South, has carefully curated an image of a reformed hustler, a businessman, and a devoted father. He spent decades transforming from a street legend into a global icon, building a fortress of respectability and wealth. But while T.I. was busy building that fortress, his son, King Harris, was busy trying to burn it to the ground from the inside. The tension has been building like a pressure cooker for years, and if you've been following this channel, you know this explosion was inevitable. We've all seen the viral clips that made us cringe and wonder, what is going on in that house? We remember the infamous Waffle House incident where King Harris flaunted his wealth while disrespecting hardworking staff over something as petty as a pickle. We remember the shocking argument at the Falcons game, captured on Instagram Live, where T.I. told King he had a silver spoon in his mouth. That argument nearly turned into a physical brawl in front of thousands of fans, proving that the bond between father and son was already hanging by a thread.
But why?
That is the million-dollar question. Why would the son of a multi-platinum artist, a kid who grew up in gated communities, attended elite schools, and flew on private jets, be so obsessed with the dangerous allure of the Atlanta streets? Insider sources close to the family claim that King feels suffocated by his father's shadow. He doesn't want to be T.I.'s son. He wants to be the king of the streets. He is a young man desperately chasing a reality that his father worked his entire life to escape. T.I. has spent his life trying to keep his children out of the trap, while King Harris has spent his entire young adulthood trying to force his way in. Every milestone T.I. achieved, King seemed determined to overshadow with a scandal. When T.I. spoke about education, King spoke about standing on business. When T.I. tried to lead by example, King engaged in reckless behavior that would make any parent's blood run cold. It wasn't just teenage rebellion. It was a systematic dismantling of the Harris family name. Then came the incident that changed everything, the Pikachu onesie arrest. It was the laughingstock of the internet, but for T.I., it was a moment of pure humiliation. A 21-year-old man arrested in a Pokemon costume, arguing with police about case law while a handgun and illegal substances sat on his dashboard. While the memes were flying, the reality behind the scenes was much darker. Leaked reports suggest that during his short stint in custody, King Harris made connections he was never supposed to make. He wanted protection, he wanted stripes, and he wanted to prove he wasn't just a rap star's kid. He began associating with a notorious Atlanta street crew known for their ruthlessness, a crew that T.I. has avoided for years to keep his family safe. T.I. allegedly begged his son to distance himself, even going as far as to cut off his financial allowance and seize the keys to his luxury cars in a last-ditch effort to force him back home. But King Harris didn't go home. He didn't humble himself. Instead, he went for the jugular. You see, T.I.'s jewelry collection isn't just gold and diamonds. It is a symbol of his survival. Each piece represents a monumental milestone, a Grammy won, a federal case beaten, a business empire secured against all odds. For T.I., that jewelry is his crown. It represents the blood, sweat, and tears of a man who came from nothing. And King Harris knew exactly where the safe was. He knew exactly what those pieces meant to his father. The betrayal we are talking about today wasn't just a simple theft. It was a symbolic assassination of his father's status. It was King Harris telling the world that his father's legacy was up for sale. As we move into the heart of this scandal, keep one thing in mind. T.I. has spent the last 20 years trying to be a diplomat and a peacemaker. But history tells us that when you touch a king's crown, the diplomacy ends and the reign of terror begins. The background noise is over, the family ties are severed, and the real war for the Harris legacy is just getting started. You won't believe what happened the moment T.I. realized the vault was empty. The atmosphere in Atlanta shifted on a cold Tuesday night. It wasn't a social media post that started the fire this time. It was a deafening, suffocating silence from the Harris household that told everyone something was horribly wrong. While the world was sleeping, the digital underworld was buzzing. Then the first leak hit. A grainy, low-light video surfaced on a private Telegram group, and within minutes, it was being screen-recorded and blasted across every gossip blog in the country. The footage showed a young man, unmistakably King Harris, wearing his signature defiant look, standing in a dark, trash-strewn alleyway behind a popular high-end nightclub in downtown Atlanta. In the video, King isn't fighting. He isn't rapping. He is negotiating. The camera shakes as King opens a heavy, velvet-lined briefcase, and even through the poor camera quality, the shimmer is absolutely blinding. This wasn't just any jewelry. This was the big paper chain, the custom-set diamond watches, and heritage pieces that T.I. hadn't worn in public for years. These are pieces valued at over $5 million, but their sentimental value to the Harris legacy is priceless. King Harris is seen handing over that briefcase to three masked individuals standing in the shadows of a blacked-out SUV. No cash is seen being exchanged. Instead, King receives a special handshake and a small, nondescript package that he quickly tucks into his jacket. The internet went into a total meltdown. Was he paying off a gambling debt? Was he buying his way into a gang hierarchy? Or was he simply trying to destroy his father's pride on the grandest stage possible? The reaction from T.I. was instantaneous and terrifying. Within an hour of that video surfacing, T.I. went live on a burner Instagram account. His face was obscured by shadows, his eyes reflecting a mix of cold fury and genuine heartbreak that we have never seen from the King of the South before. His voice was a low, trembling whisper, the kind of quiet that is more frightening than any scream. "You don't just take from this house," he whispered, the words cutting through the screen like a knife. "And you don't sell a legacy to the wolves. To the people who think they bought a piece of the king, you didn't buy jewelry. You bought a death warrant. You have 24 hours to bring my life's work back to my doorstep, or I will show you why I'm the only one who survived the trap." This was the first final warning. T.I. laid out a 24-hour ultimatum that sent a shiver through the entire city. He wasn't talking as a celebrity. He was talking as a man who had reached his limit. He promised to unleash the beast he had kept caged for 2 decades, the version of Clifford Harris that the world thought was long gone. But here is the first major twist, and this is where the story gets truly dark. As the 24-hour clock began to tick, a second leaked message emerged, not from T.I., but from the gang itself. They didn't just buy the jewelry. They released a blurry photo of T.I.'s big paper chain draped over a pit bull in a basement, with a caption that turned the Harris family drama into a nightmare. They claimed that King Harris didn't sell the jewelry for money. He sold it as a down payment for a professional hit on his own security team. Yes, you heard that correctly. The insider reports coming out of the Atlanta underground suggest that King Harris was so tired of being guarded and controlled by his father's elite security force that he traded T.I.'s legacy to hire a street crew to neutralize them. He wanted to be free of the Harris name, even if it meant putting lives in danger. The gang's caption read, "The prince gave us the keys to the kingdom so he could be the man. We don't take orders from retired kings. Tip, your son is our new boss now." The disrespect was astronomical. The city of Atlanta felt like it was sitting on a massive powder keg. T.I.'s daughter, Nick, allegedly posted a cryptic, tearful message on her close friend's story that someone leaked, saying, "I tried to tell him, some things you can't come back from. He's playing with fire, and we're all going to get burned. God help us all tonight." The betrayal had evolved from a simple theft into a full-scale family coup. T.I. wasn't just fighting a street gang anymore. He He was fighting his own son's obsession with seeing him fall. Can you imagine the sheer agony? You spend 20 years building a life of luxury for your child, only for them to use your own hard-earned jewelry to fund a strike against the people hired to protect them. The tension reached a fever pitch when a third video emerged just 3 hours ago. This one showed T.I.'s private security team, an elite group of former tactical officers, not in their usual suits, but in full tactical gear, loading into 3 blacked-out SUVs outside the Harris estate. They weren't waiting for the police. They weren't waiting for a lawyer. The final warning was real, and T.I. was moving in total silence. But just as we thought we knew where this was going, the most shocking development hit the wires. A local emergency room nurse allegedly leaked that a young male, matching King's description, was just brought in with injuries consistent with a brutal street altercation. The rumors are flying. Did the gang turn on King the moment they got the jewelry? Or did T.I.'s tactical team find him first and discipline him before going after the gang? The suspense is suffocating, and the streets are whispering that this is only the beginning of a very long, very bloody night for the Harris dynasty. You have to stay tuned, because what we found out about that package King received in the alleyway changes the entire motive behind this betrayal. As the news of the John Doe hospital admission spread like wildfire, the digital world descended into a state of total chaos. Every refresh of the feed brought a new theory, a new leak, and a higher level of panic. But the reality was far more twisted than anyone could have imagined. Just when the public thought the situation couldn't get any more volatile, T.I. released a second statement. But this time, it wasn't a video. It wasn't a speech. It was a single, bone-chilling image posted to his main Instagram account, a photo of a single, blood-stained diamond earring sitting alone on a cold marble table. The caption was only 2 sentences long, but it felt like a death knell. 12 hours left. I'm not playing with your lives. I'm playing with your souls. The escalation was undeniable. This wasn't just about recovering property anymore. It was a psychological warfare campaign. The streets of Atlanta were effectively on lockdown as word spread that the rubber band man had officially reactivated his old connections. Other major industry figures began to weigh in, sensing the gravity of a situation that was spiraling out of control. 50 Cent, never one to let a moment of drama pass without a comment, posted a meme of T.I. with a caption, "Somebody go get the boy before Tip turns back into Clifford." This ain't a movie, folks. Reality is hitting different today. Even community leaders reportedly tried to intervene, but the word from the Harris camp was clear. The line had been crossed, and the door to diplomacy was slammed shut. Then came the shocking reveal that changed the entire narrative. A massive Twitter thread from an anonymous account purporting to be a former associate of the gang involved dropped a bombshell that silenced the gossip blogs. They claimed the gang never actually wanted the jewelry. The diamonds and gold were just a shiny distraction, a trophy to bait T.I. out of his fortress and into the open. The real motive? The gang is allegedly holding a secret confession tape of King Harris. According to the leak, King Harris, in a desperate and misguided attempt to gain street stripes and prove he wasn't just a rich rap star's kid, began bragging to the gang members about illegal activities he claimed his father was still running behind the scenes. Whether these claims were the truth or just the dangerous fantasies of a boy trying to impress killers, it didn't matter. The gang recorded every word. The jewelry was the hook, but the tape is the kill shot. If that recording reaches the federal authorities, T.I.'s empire, his freedom, and his entire 20-year journey of reformation could be erased in an instant. The cliffhanger here is absolutely paralyzing. T.I. is now trapped in the ultimate catch, 22. If he uses his tactical team to storm the gang's hideout and take back his jewelry by force, he risks a violent shootout that would almost certainly land him back in federal prison for life. But if he pays the massive extortion fee the gang is demanding to keep the tape silent, he effectively admits his son has defeated him and leaves himself vulnerable to being milked by the streets forever. Industry insiders are calling this the checkmate of the century. Social media is violently divided. One half of the internet is shouting that T.I. needs to let King rot in the mess he created, while the other half argues that a father's job is to protect his son even from his own monstrous mistakes. The hashtag the King's Choice is trending worldwide as millions wait to see which path T.I. will take. But the night had one more horror in store. A leaked doorbell camera clip from a neighbor showed a masked figure in a gray hoodie dropping a thick, manila envelope on T.I.'s doorstep at 3:14 a.m. In the grainy footage, you see T.I. himself open the door, pick up the envelope, and as he looks inside, his knees visibly buckle. He drops to the porch, clutching his head in his hands as the door swings open behind him. The panic in his body language in that 5-second clip has sent his fanbase into a state of mourning. What was in that envelope? Was it a thumb drive with a confession? Was it photos of King in a state we can't even imagine? Or was it something even more personal? The final warning clock just hit the 2-hour mark, and the tension is so thick you can feel it through the screen. T.I. looks like a man who hasn't just lost his jewelry. He looks like a man who has lost his soul. Every second that passes brings us closer to a conclusion that nobody is prepared for. The Harris family isn't just in trouble. They're staring into the abyss, and the abyss is staring back. Stay tuned, because the final countdown is about to begin, and the revelation coming next will change the history of hip-hop forever. The digital world is currently a battlefield. You cannot refresh your feed without seeing a new expert analysis or a heated debate about the Harris family. The division is deep, and it's getting ugly. This isn't just another celebrity gossip cycle. This is a cultural civil war playing out in the comments sections of every major platform. The streets are talking, the fans are mourning, and the industry is shaking. On one side, you have the old-school loyalists. These are the fans who grew up on trap music and urban legend. They are posting vintage clips of T.I., reminding the world that he is a pioneer who paved the way for an entire generation. For them, King Harris is the ultimate villain of 2026, a child of extreme privilege who is systematically dismantling the empire his father bled to build. A viral tweet with over 400,000 likes captured the sentiment perfectly. T.I. fought the feds so his kids would never have to see a jail cell. Now his son is using that freedom to fund a war against his own father. It's not just betrayal, it's demonic. King Harris is a clout-chasing monster. On the other side, you have the street realists and Gen Z critics. They argue that T.I. is simply reaping what he sowed. They point to the years of reality TV stardom, claiming that T.I. exploited his family's life for cameras and now can't handle it when that reality turns dark. A popular YouTuber posted a scathing 30-minute video titled, "The Failed King: How T.I.'s Ego Created the King Harris Monster," which has already racked up millions of views. The comments are a war zone, with users arguing that T.I. was too focused on his reformed image to notice his son was drowning in a desperate need for street validation. But the industry reactions are what have truly set the internet on fire. This isn't just about fans. The big players are picking sides. Boozy Badass went on a legendary 15-minute IG live rant, pacing his backyard and screaming into the camera. "The game is officially broken," he yelled. "When a son is selling his daddy's legacy to the wolves, the world is ending. Tip, you give the word, and the whole South is behind you. We don't play with a man's crown." 50 Cent, T.I.'s longtime rival and master of social media trolling, took a surprisingly dark turn. He posted a silhouette of the Big Paper chain with the caption, "I've seen a lot of things in this game, but this is a different kind of cold. When your own blood is the one who sets the trap, there's no way to win. Pray for the Harris family." Rick Ross posted a cryptic video from his Promised Land estate, sipping expensive cognac and looking out over his horses. "The boss sees the board," he said in a low rumble. Sometimes the biggest threat isn't the enemy at the gate, it's the one sleeping in the guest house. Stay focused, King. Mainstream news outlets like Fox 5 Atlanta and TMZ have reporters stationed in unmarked vans near the Harris estate, but the family has gone into radio silence. The only movement seen is the constant rotation of blacked-out SUVs with tinted windows. The most controversial leak came from a fake insider account claiming that Tiny Harris has fled the family mansion and checked into a high-security hotel under an assumed name. The rumor suggests she gave T.I. an ultimatum. It's either the streets or your family. While her camp hasn't confirmed this, her total absence from social media for the last 48 hours is deafening. Supporters are calling it fake news meant to destabilize the family further, while critics are using it as proof that T.I.'s final warning has already cost him his marriage. The hashtag the Harris fallout is trending number 1 globally. People are divided into two camps. Those who want to see T.I. turn back into Clifford and handle it the street way, and those who fear that doing so will be the final nail in the coffin for his legacy. As the clock nears zero, the tension isn't just in Atlanta, it's everywhere. The world is watching, and every celebrity response is fueling a fire that is already out of control. The 24-hour mark has passed. The silence that followed was deafening, a suffocating void that had the entire city of Atlanta looking over its shoulder. For 3 agonizing hours, the Harris family's digital footprint went completely dark. No posts, no leaks, no sightings. Then, at precisely 6 p.m., a new video was uploaded to T.I.'s official YouTube channel, simply titled, "The Debt is Paid." The video is a haunting, high-definition nightmare. It's only 30 seconds long, shot in a secluded, wooded area at dusk. The camera pans slowly across a roaring bonfire, the orange flames licking the dark sky. As the lens zooms in, the unthinkable happens. You see T.I.'s legendary multi-million-dollar jewelry collection, the pieces that define the King of the South era, being tossed one by one into the white-hot center of the fire. The diamonds don't melt, but the history they represent is being incinerated in real time. But that isn't the final twist. The camera pans to the side, and T.I. is standing there, illuminated by the fire. He looks exhausted, aged by a decade in a single night. His eyes are hollow as he stares directly into the lens. The jewelry is gone. The debt is paid, he says in a voice so devoid of emotion it's chilling. But the son I had is dead to me. From this day forward, there is no king in this house. Do not ask for him. Do not mention his name. The Harris legacy ends with the man who built it. The screen goes pitch black. The internet went into a collective state of cardiac arrest. Why burn millions of dollars? Why not take it back? Was it a message to the streets that he can't be extorted? Or was it a ritualistic cleansing of a father who has finally given up? But here is the final, bone-chilling twist that has just surfaced on the dark web. An insider source just leaked a high-resolution scan of that manila envelope T.I. received on his porch. It wasn't a tape, and it wasn't a threat. It was a signed, notarized legal document showing that King Harris had sold the legal rights to the Grand Hustle trademark to the very gang leaders holding the jewelry. King didn't just sell his father's gold. He sold his father's life's work, the name, the brand, and the business, just to secure his own protection in the streets. T.I. didn't burn the jewelry because he lost the war. He burned it because he realized he was burning his own past to prevent the gang from owning his future. And the cliffhanger? Just as the world was trying to process the death of the Harris dynasty, a new notification popped up on King Harris's Instagram. A picture of him standing in a mirror, wearing the gang's colors, holding a burner phone with a smirk that would make a devil shiver. The caption? The old king burned his toys. The new king just signed the lease on the throne. See you at the courthouse tomorrow, Clifford. Bring your best lawyers, because I'm bringing the truth. The war isn't over. It's just moved from the dark alleys of Atlanta to a high-stakes legal battle that could see T.I. losing every penny he has left to his own son. Is this the ultimate clout stunt for a new reality show? Or are we witnessing the actual, violent collapse of a hip-hop dynasty in a way that can never be repaired? We've just been notified that Tiny Harris has scheduled a tell-all interview for tomorrow morning. The fire is spreading, and the crown is up for grabs. You do not want to miss what happens next. This is absolutely insane, guys. Did King Harris really just trade his father's entire legacy for street protection? And what do you think about T.I. burning millions in jewelry to send a message? Was it a boss move or a sign of total defeat? We need to hear your theories in the comments. Team T.I. or Team King? The court of public opinion is now in session. To get the first look at Tiny's leaked tell-all interview, you must hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. Don't forget to like this video to keep the truth coming. The Harris dynasty is in flames. Stay tuned for the next update.